Hey guys, it's downtime. I am Original Justin. I created this show. I hope it's going to be a hilarious mix between what you've come to love on the Stream.tv's post shows and interactivity. With me tonight, I got to mention her first because I was asking people to do the show, and she immediately was like, yes. You know her from Late Night Lemonade, Katie Conway.
Hey guys!
Yeah, Katie Conway!
Woo!
Close friend of the Collective Network, Ethan Newberry.
Hi.
Woo!
Hey guys. I deserve applause as well. What up?
Host of Twending, Erin Darling.
Woo!
Dose in the chat room is saying, be more active, Justin. I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous.
I'm nervous.
Justin, it's weird watching you hunch over a desk. You're either working or blowing a microphone.
I
Oh, look,
was
now he's
trying to
standing.
talk to the microphone.
Blowing a microphone?
Ladies and
Really?
gentlemen, it's Original Justin, the sports announcer.
I did not want to hold the microphone because I was afraid of like audio shit.
Keep going, Justin, sorry.
And I got to say, while Ethan Newberry is a close friend of the Collective Network, and you all are close friends of the Collective, Stream.tv, but Mike Beatrice is going 4 for 4 for every show. I think actually Ethan is too. Mike Beatrice.
Yeah, Mike Beatrice.
Where do we know Mike Beatrice from?
You know him, you love him. Jeff, the film nut.
Oh, thank you. But Michael's from commercial break, right?
Mike is from Commercial Break.
Yeah, it's commercial break.
I
Yeah.
was totally forgetting you, Jeff.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's because Jeff's out of sight and out of mind without that
Yeah,
video.
Jeff.
I think Jeff has been on
Don't
every
have
show
to,
too.
What do you mean every show?
Sports Bash, Super Awesome Film Show, Collective Show.
Not pretty much the collector show.
Oh.
Not the
Nope,
sports bash.
sorry, Justin. Everything that you think about me is false.
It's the other bald guy with glasses you're thinking of.
Handsome bald guy with glasses, Jeff.
There you go.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, I'm sorry, chat room. We can't do video tonight, but it's recording. It'll go to YouTube tomorrow, like split up into 15-minute chunks.
Oh my gosh.
And then tomorrow you're going to be able to see what all of our bedrooms look like. It's going to be fantastic.
This is true.
Yeah.
This isn't my bedroom.
Did I?
Yes, the room it is.
I always fail on the Collective show. Did I mention everybody? Katie, Mike, Ethan, Aaron, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the one person who's not here is not responding.
Do you miss some of your favorite past hosts? There's a gaggle of them chatting right now. Oh shit, I think he was trying to put that on Twitter. But I misunderstood it. Like, Katie, do you see Amanda and Maria? Ethan,
yeah.
Lindsay?
I see what you're saying. Well, we can answer that question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I see Amanda and Maria not as often as I'd like to because I used to live with Amanda, and we don't live together anymore. And it's really sad, but I do love my new roommate. Not to put anything against her, but yes. So we still hang out and stuff, but I don't see them as much as I would like to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say, I miss the, camaraderie a little bit of the stream. It was such a supportive group, when you'd come early and, you'd root on someone else's show, or like, me and Michael Beatrice got to know each other and had a lot of fun doing pre-show and post-show together when Commercial Break and Film Nut were on back-to-back. So that was always kind of cool. And, of course, it's great working with Brian. We did recently start to work on a new intro for Film Nut. That was kind of fun to spend the day outdoors with Brian and shooting some exterior stuff. So when Film Nut returns, we'll have a fun new video intro for it.
I miss the stream terribly, and I miss all the old hosts. Doing the Pavlov charity event, the 24-hour stream, was a good example of the camaraderie amongst everybody. And just doing those kind of things, like being able to drop by the studio 24/7 and see any variety of hosts or Brian slaving away over the computer or anything like that. It kind of became all of our second, third family, you know, being able to see the hosts and knowing the different shows and stuff like that. It was really neat.
I miss everyone too, and I see them kind of randomly. I had a random night out at a bar with Stuart Papp one night. That was kind of cool. I see Robin Haley from time to time.
Stuart Papp?
Stuart Papp!
I don't know that guy.
I hate that guy.
I hate him.
So I've seen him. I've seen, who else? Ryan, randomly. I'll run into people. It's kind of cool. So, small world.
Oh,
Cover me up.
I miss me. I like doing what I used to do in commercial break and then booting up the video and watching me do it a couple more times during the week. I don't know if that's narcissistic, but I think that's what I miss most.
No, we all miss that, Mike. We all miss that every single week.
No, but you're right. The stream was so much fun, and there was that behind-the-scenes camaraderie, messing around with each other in the chat rooms when other people were doing their shows, knowing how it works, and being able to just have fun. And I think that was probably what was fun for the chat audience, knowing that we were all having a good time. Even if we hadn't all necessarily met personally, we all knew what it was like to be in there, and it was just it was enormous fun.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys have seen that documentary. It's on Netflix, Instinct Q. It's called We Are in Public. It was about the internet dude, one of the very first .com billionaire guys that started an online streaming video network, one of the very first ones in the 90s, like in 94, 95. And the documentary kind of covers that within the first 20 minutes. And it reminded me exactly of the stream, because this guy's whole vision was to create a channel that people could go to online and see any variety of shows 24/7, music shows, video game shows, tech shows, all that kind of stuff. And this was in the mid-90s. And as I was watching it, I was getting, like, not emotional, but I really missed Brian's weirdness and showing up and watching Late Night Lemonade and laughing my ass off and making fun of the rad nerd guys and, you know, all that stuff. I missed that. So, yeah, I think everyone, all the hosts are in that same boat. I think we all miss it. Except for Eliza. She doesn't care.
There you go. Yeah, Eliza's not sitting around saying, God, I miss those guys.
No way. She's like, I guess I'll go do one for you, Brian. Whatever.
But I tell
Ethan,
you what,
there's a question for you.
I had a good experience with Eliza. Since we just jokingly bagged on her, I'll say something really nice. Her show was usually on before mine for a while. And there was one night I was in a really bad mood. I was down about stuff, whatever it was. And I showed up early, and I watched her show live, and it put me in a really good mood because it was, you know, as usual, she was very funny. And I mentioned that to her, and she was, like, really serious. Like, that's why I do it, you know. And made her feel good that I told her that her show kind of cheered me up. And she gave me a big hug, and it was a nice little moment.
Was she wearing just underwear? Because that is fantastic.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I made up the bullshit about being in a bad mood and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No, it was post-show. She was all dressed and ready to go.
I know that Justin wants us to just kind of do this show ourselves. So I guess we might as well. Where's that document that we should probably
Ethan, why don't you answer that question from High and Dajifi?
Hi in the Jalefe. Ethan, you won the Samsung Mobile, and it ended up on such a high and then almost disappeared from cyberspace. Discuss. Oh, man, I have been in cyberspace 24/7. I don't know where you have been. I'm always visiting the porn sites, so maybe you should just... The Samsung Mobile Explorer thing was awesome, and then we came back all pumped and ready to continue with Real Cool Club, and then the stream shut down. It was like literally we had one show back. We made fun of Rob and Coin Up that entire show, which was hilarious, and then we got the entire network got canceled. Other than that, We've
Wait, am I talking to the host of the game show, or there's another show that makes fun of Rob?
There's more than just one show.
Okay.
But Rob took it in stride. But that was our last show, and then I think that was when the stream got shut down, so all the shows got canceled. And so it's not just the Real Cool Club, but every show kind of disappeared, like all the hosts and stuff like that.
Not canceled. We're on hiatus.
Yeah,
my show got canceled.
Except for Late Night Lemonade, yes, they got canceled, because they were too funny. They were too good, and Brian did not want it.
Yeah.
I can speak for myself on what I've been doing since that happened. We've been working really hard on our YouTube channel, both Lindsay and I. We're working really hard with that, trying to get up in subscriptions and stuff like that, because there's actual business model revolved around YouTube channels. Been doing a lot of acting, a lot of hosting and stuff like that. Gearing up to bring the Cool Club back. That question has been going around a lot. Is the Cool Club coming back? And our goal is ultimately yes, absolutely. What about you guys? What have you guys been doing? Mike, Katie, Erin?
I've been doing a lot of stand-up in the local LA comedy scene, and I've been working with writer friends of mine and pitching to television shows to basic cable television channels. But it's all. I mean, that's the trick. Doing what we all seem to do in that vague kind of same world. It's just staying creative, and that was a great thing about the stream. It was always creative, always fun, and there was that. You didn't have to wait for a response. You knew the minute you did it whether or not it worked, if it was funny, if it wasn't, and you could tweak it for the next week. And that was because of the way it's all designed with that immediate interaction. The only thing that's close to that is stand-up comedy, except the audience usually isn't supposed to give you that feedback, verbally. You just know if you have them or you don't. This way, you have people commenting instantly. That's the part I miss. Because we're all doing creative things, but there was never that kind of relationship with the people that you were working for.
Yeah. Well, on a similar note, I've done a couple like webisodes and short films and stuff lately, and for example, you don't get that instant gratification. Like I haven't seen some of them that I did months ago. You know what I mean? Like I just shot a web series called Funny in Love. We shot 3 episodes. And it's going to be pitched to HBO and Comedy Central to see if they want to do a series out of it. So that's kind of what I've been up to. But it's like it's not the same because you're not there and having the instant response and knowing how it goes over and getting to be creative like every week.
I don't know what this is going to look like when everybody gets to see it tomorrow when it's uploaded. But just for us right now, it's like watching an episode of 24.
Yeah.
With like the split windows, and there's a guy smoking a cigarette, and somebody's possibly being interrogated. This is fun.
A good question from Paranormal Pirate. Best post-show experience. Jeff, I bet you had a bunch because you had some of the biggest guests in the stream. Did you ever get to chat with them longer after the cameras turned off?
Post-show, so not like post-show as in talking to the collective, but post-show as in like hanging out with the guest afterward kind of thing?
I'm not sure. Paranormal Pirate? They just say best post-show experience, question mark?
One fun post-show experience that was like talking back to the collective, which is how I kind of took it, was when Brian's dad was in town, and his dad did the post-show with me. And it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And I got Brian's dad to reveal Brian's middle name, which was something that he had like kept secret from the entire collective. And it was like a big deal. Brian comes running out, no,
Yes.
But it was too late.
What's his middle name?
That was probably, as a long-time fan of the Stream.TV, Brian has never admitted that.
Well, did you watch that?
What is it? What is the name?
I know the chat room knows it. I can't think. Glennon?
I'm spacing on it now too, but he
Dennis?
definitely said it.
Goodness.
I was popping in.
Oh my God! Please let it
It
be.
wasn't like, for me, it wasn't like finding out Angelina Jolie's middle name or something. You know what I mean? It wasn't something that I was dying to know and like filed away in my memory.
Such
But
a long
to the
secret. He kept that freaking secret for so long.
Yeah.
3 years, I was popping in because do you guys want to take calls on Skype?
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
That's
Technology is crazy.
Let's push the envelope, because so far this is going just about as smoothly as Apollo 13.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh.
It's all fine.
That's what I miss most about my Apollo 13.
Can I give my favorite post show? It was actually Jeff's post show, and I had showed up early for commercial break, and I forget who it was. It might have been Brian. He's like, go in there and mess around with Jeff. And this was like week 2 or 3 for me. And I'm like, all right. So I sat down with Jeff, and we did the chat room together, and we talked sports and really just busted each other's balls. And that was the first week that I realized, oh, now I get this. Now I know why this is fun. And now this is something I want to be a part of. So that was my favorite post show.
That was
My
a good one.
favorite
And I really
post
think
show-
Brian may have missed an opportunity to pair us up to do more sports stuff.
Yeah.
Go for it,
Sorry,
Aaron.
go ahead.
I don't
Your
want to
favorite-
interrupt. My favorite post show, well, I think I did a lot of random chatting and filling in and stuff like that when I was at the stream. But I think my favorite experience was probably at one point, I think it was after Twending, talking, and Jim Festante comes in, and he's wasted. And I'm like, oh my God, he smells like booze. But I didn't want to say anything because I really didn't want to be awkward about it. So I just pretended like nothing happened. And then he kind of brought it up, and I was like, oh my God, I knew it. You reek of alcohol. That was kind of funny. So
That's how he
that
smells.
was probably the best. Yeah, maybe he always smells like
He
that.
does, yeah.
I don't smell him very often, so I don't know. But I mean, Ethan kind of smells like booze right now.
That's my bad.
Were we not supposed to do the shows on alcohol? Because
Oops.
Oops, sorry,
I never did. It was fine. It's all fine.
I'm going to go back to the notes. See what else is in the notes. Ken, yeah. Wow, this is. Okay.
Can hot sauce help you lose weight?
Well, actually, the first one, we haven't even covered that. Do you think that to be a successful artist, you need to open up your whole life to the media in your music and stuff like that? I'm taking the question as meaning we do live shows. We are there for the public to view, to interact with during like the streamathons 24/7. Do you think that to make it in media now, you need to be able to be open to that kind of instant gratification? Jeff Schubert.
Okay, I'll take it. I was waiting. I didn't want to jump in. I think you have to be comfortable in your own shoes, I think, and I think you have to be real to who you are. It's not going to necessarily manifest the same for every person. Like every person that's in this conversation right now can have a different interpretation of opening themselves up. And as long as they are true to that, consistent with that, and authentic with that, you can make it work for you. It just doesn't have to it doesn't have to manifest the same way with every person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Totally.
Katie Conway.
I don't know how to say it better. I'm not sure. I need to think about it. I like what Jeff said.
I can tell you, I think from doing actual stand-up comedy, it's there's a duality. You know, there's a character that you hone and you write over the course of doing stand-up, and that is what you present on stage, because you need to have an angle, you need to have a personality for people to connect with you. But then there's the material reality where you're trying to showcase yourself as a personality that can be marketed and spun off on a television show or a movie. But it also has to be genuine, because if it's not, you're not going to fool anybody for an instant. So you need to take bits and pieces of your life and spin them and weave them into this is sounding way more dramatic than stand-up needs to be, but it needs to become a narrative about who you are. And it needs to be at least partially true.
And it's like, for example, you know, Chris Rock couldn't do Jerry Seinfeld's material and vice versa.
Right.
Aaron Ashley.
I think you have to be open and willing to put yourself out there. So whatever, however you choose to define that, I think is up to the individual. But for me, I think it's part of what we do. So I'm down.
And it's actually, it's a different answer. It's funny, Michael, you brought up the idea of, from the perspective of a comic. from the perspective, and the question was originally posed from the perspective of like a media personality, but to the actor, it would be another different answer, because an actor, the more you're out there, and the harder it makes it for the audience to believe you in other types of roles. You know, like for example, a lot of the great actors, the Robert De Niro's, the Meryl Streeps, and so on and so forth, we know less about them, and we see them in in any kind of role, and we believe them in it. When we know people's positions on political issues of the day, this, that, and the other, sometimes it makes it harder for us to believe them in certain types of roles if we know too much about them. Or it's some people, they offend some people because some people don't like their views or whatever. So for the actor, it can be a tricky thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Totally. Yeah.
Telemundo 714 wants to know if everybody in LA is either a stand-up or in porn or a secretary. I just want to say, Telemundo, I've done all three.
I'm doing all three currently.
I did 2 out of the 3. Guess which? No.
Oh, man.
Well, Jeff, one of them I did for you.
I don't want to know which one.
He took notes. Took very, very good notes. Well, I'm just excited to be in the same room as all of you guys again.
I know, it's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's the most exciting thing. We never really started the show by saying, "Hey, what's up? I missed all you guys." Because I do, and I have. I saw Brian and Jim Festante and Guides recently. We all went to go see Tron. I think I was the only one drunk, but they were a delight. It was great catching back up with those guys. It sounds like Brian has a studio already in the works. I think he did the live broadcast with Eliza last week on the 11th. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I jumped into the chat room right after, and it looked like he has a studio going already. So I think he's working out the technical details, but who knows what's coming back.
Yeah, I've checked it out. It looks pretty cool so far, actually. I'm impressed by the way things are coming along, so
he's going live, like, I think every day for a little bit.
He has been? Or he will be?
Yeah, I think he has been.
What? Brian Gramo going live?
Yeah, I'm supposed to stop by some point this week to check it out and, just say, hey, live for a few minutes too.
Huh.
But, yeah.
So the question's been going, do you think your show's coming back? Do you think that show's coming back? I don't know if any of us know when, but it's inevitable that the shows will come back in some form or another. Bigger and better, or smaller and worser. So, who knows?
Worser's not a word.
Either as Katie Conway.
Can I tell you, I went to a sketch comedy show about a month ago, and Commercial Break has been off for a while. And we were, we had a nice little following, and people were nice to us, but we were never we were always a little bit on the fringe. We were never Eliza's show. We were never Jeff or Ethan or you guys that are really inside. And I was at this sketch comedy show, and they had a little after party. And I was talking to some people, and 3 people came up to me, and they were like, "Oh my God, you're Mike from Commercial Break." And I was like,
cool.
It was, I'm like, cool. That's been off for almost a year. And so, I mean, there really is a following. I mean, not just for that, but I mean, there really is a group of people that were really invested in everything that we did and Brian did. And yeah, man, I hope it all comes back because, again,
you're Rebecca, right?
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, I did.
Good. That's fantastic.
But it was nice, man. It was a really cool moment.
That's really cool.
You had the progressive girl on your show, right?
Yeah.
Flo.
That was one of the more popular ones, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I can't think of a bigger commercial star right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's still raking it in.
Cash and checks.
Yeah, she's set.
Somebody we had on our show, Kirk, he's doing the Skinny Jeans Miller Lite ad right now. It was fun to see him.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I've done a lot of casting sessions with that, or gone into audition with him.
Yeah.
And he's never been very nice to me.
Nope.
Well,
I can't.
Ethan,
I'm not disputing that.
it's hard to be nice to you.
Whatever, Katie. I know where you live.
No, you don't.
You're right. I don't. I actually don't.
Ooh, I like the question that just popped up by an honest fraud. What was one of your embarrassing moments, or what was your first day like at the stream?
Ooh.
That's kind of a good question.
It's almost like a 2-parter.
Yeah.
My first day. Oh no, you go first.
Oh, okay.
Ladies, please.
Sorry.
Please.
No overlapping. I think my most embarrassing moment was one of the first times. Actually, it might have been my very first time. I think I was filling in for Haley for Coin Op, and I was sitting there just talking in the chat room, not really knowing what to do because it was my first experience. And I asked the people in the chat room what games they were currently playing, and I was just reading off all these rapid fire answers that I was getting in the chat room. And somebody said Pocket Pool, and I was like, oh, Pocket Pool. This guy's playing some Pocket Pool, and I didn't know what that was.
Nice.
I think I kind of looked a little bit stupid in that moment, but it was funny. I think the chat room kind of enjoyed my dumb blonde moment there.
Welcome to the stream.
I got my first show experience. I think, Ethan, you were running the show. My first
in the early days of Late Night Lemonade?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. I think you were. But they just had me on as a gag to make balloon animals. I'm sure some of you remember. So I was just making balloon animals the whole time, sitting on a stool, and there would randomly be shots of me. And I wasn't drunk, and everybody kept saying I was drunk the whole time. And I think people just think I'm always drunk, and I'm not. So that's kind of embarrassing.
I swear to God, Late Night Lemonade is by far one of my favorite shows.
Dude, I miss it so much.
Oh, yeah. I miss it. I miss sitting at home watching it.
I mean, it was a different sort of humor, I guess. You know what I mean? It's like...
That's the thing, is it's good comedy when it gets shut down because people don't get it. That means it's the future.
Yeah, you were ahead of your time.
You're way ahead.
Guys. All right, I'll take that.
Yeah.
But if anybody's near Katie right now, if we could find out what's in that mug she's drinking, that would be...
Oh, it's coffee, right?
Of course it is.
It's coffee.
Who drinks coffee?
And this is sparkling water.
So not coffee.
I don't have any sort of... my most embarrassing moment on the stream.
Every day.
Every day.
Ethan Newberry.
I was going to say when I had to run around naked, but that was for charity, so that was not embarrassing. That was beneficial to those in need.
That was the excuse you were looking for.
Exactly. I think, honestly, my most embarrassing moment would be my first show, the first Real Cool Club, because now I look back at that episode and I can't make it more than a couple minutes into it. I just can't. It was embarrassing to watch.
What about the one where you were dressed up as a lady?
No, I love that one. Yeah, that one's hilarious.
Classic.
I love it. Yeah, that made the highlight reel for the stream constantly, so I can't write that. But looking back at the first episode, I was green, and we just did not know what we were going to do. But that's the evolution of any show. You look back at the first episode, and it's completely different than where the show ended. But that's not the end. I'm just saying the last episode that aired. Far different. So that's me. Jeff or Mike?
A different kind of film that experience was when I had Lloyd Kaufman from Troma on for the second time, and he brings this girl with him who he like a diva, but he was like, he really wanted to have this bipolaria crazy woman with him in the interview, and we were like, okay, whatever. And she was acting normal before the interview, and then once it started, with a name like bipolaria, she got into character and was acting really strange. And she kept trying to get me to eat this cupcake on the air. And what you guys might not know about me is I'm a borderline germaphobe. And these cupcakes weren't wrapped or anything like that or whatever. And she wouldn't let it go, and she kept making an issue of it. And Brian's sending me on the chat monitor, don't eat the cupcake. I'm thinking to myself, little does he know, there's no chance in hell I'm eating this cupcake. And so it was a fun, challenging interview that the audience seemed to like. But in the moment of it, I was like, where's this going? When's it going to stop? Kind of thing.
I can imagine that's a horribly intense moment where you're like, listen, I don't want to offend you, but no, I don't want to eat your cupcake.
And, my show is, Brian has a certain image of film that I don't get to do some of the fun stuff that you guys do, so I couldn't, have fun with it and, go nuts. My thing is keeping it real, being a little fun with it, but also, redirecting to Lloyd and keeping it about, a film nut type of interview kind of thing.
You're the James Lipton of the stream. Mm-hmm. You got to keep it real.
Got to keep it real.
Keep it classy.
Mike, did you already answer?
Oh, no, I didn't. So it's embarrassing moment and first day, right? embarrassing moment was when there was a guy we really wanted to get for commercial break, and it was the freecreditreport.com guy.
I don't like those.
Well, I love that guy.
I said I don't like those commercials.
Well, okay, that's fine. But we found out that the problem was he didn't live here. He lived in Canada, and he barely spoke any English. He was just able to sing the songs, and he did a whole thing. So we finally got him on, and it was like via like satellite, NASA uplink, and we just had one rule that night, just to not jump each other because there was going to be a time delay. You're talking to the moon. So every single answer he gave, I jumped him. And it was horrible. I felt so bad because he was such a nice guy. And his mother was literally, he lives in the same house as his mom. And she was literally walking around in the background. And I just kept jumping over every answer he gave. It was my biggest amateur screw up ever. First day at the stream, sat down at the computer at the chat station. And it was like, and 5, and 4. Mike, do you have any questions? Yeah, what do I do? I had no idea. We hadn't even really done a dry run.
They didn't give you the breakdown?
No, I mean we did. We showed up to do like a lighting test, but it turned out to be about Rebecca and her makeup, and we hadn't gone through anything about the chat room, and none of the chat windows were open. So I literally had no idea what to do. So I just started reading off, chat names and doing shout outs, and I just said, you know what? I don't know if this is going to be one episode or whatever, so I just decided to be edgy. So I think when Eliza had done a show right before ours where her cat had passed, and I may have made a crude joke about it, and Rebecca was not happy. Brian loved it, and I think that's when all the chat stars were like, "Oh, Mike will probably say anything. Let's tune in to see what happens next." Yeah. So that was my first day. Not knowing what to do. This is exactly like Apollo 13 after the 4-minute radio blackout. And then Ed Harris starts crying.
Oh, Ed Harris. What a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy.
How do I look at the video again? Who's that?
I don't know my video. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how much longer I can stay on.
Same here.
I think we should at least give Justin a soundbite that we can close up the show, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah.
I really want to thank everyone that's in the chat room right now. One, for tuning in and still believing in the stream and the collective and all that good stuff. But I also want to thank all of the other hosts that came on with us tonight. I missed all you guys. I missed the stream. I missed everything about it. And it's fantastic to continue to get emails and Twitters and stuff like that from haters as well as lovers of the Real Cool Club in the stream. I love it to death.
Yep, I agree. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we look forward to talking to you again soon, and thanks for checking in with me.
Unfortunately,
Ethan.
the live stream is dead. I'm rebooting it. But we're doing video, and this will be posted tomorrow for YouTube. The audio podcast will be down or up tonight, like in an hour.
Okay. Are you still recording this, though, so our shout-outs are still good?
Yes.
Okay.
Did everybody say goodbye?
No,
Not
it's just
yet.
me and Aaron so far.
Okay. Katie!
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. I miss this, and I miss seeing familiar, I want to say faces, but I guess I have to say screen names in the chats. And then it was really cool to see all of you guys, other hosts and Justin, and this was super fun, and I hope we can do it a lot more.
Yeah, unfortunately, as the live viewers know, we lost Skype for a while there. Thank you guys for popping on. Thank you guys for popping on webcam.
Thank you.
Justin, I got something to say. I didn't get to say goodbye.
I was saving you for last, dude. Jeff Schubert.
Okay, thanks.
Jeff Schubert.
No, I just want to say, first of all, very, very well said by the previous host in terms of the goodbyes and the thank yous to everyone listening and to the other hosts for participating in it. And I especially want to ditto the part about, the positive energy and those of you that still believe in us. This is the entertainment business. 1 minute we're not here, the next we're there. So stay positive. Brian is working his ass off, and in fact, again, the weekly news back on. this last week, and he's going live every day. So there is some rumblings. Brian and I, we worked on a new beginning for Film Nut that we wouldn't do if we didn't think it was going to be coming back. So again, thanks for the positive energy. Stay positive for us. Stay positive, in your own lives too. Things may not be going the way you want the second you want them to, but that doesn't mean if you stay with it, you can't make it happen. And that's what we're still trying to do every day. All of us for the stream and all of us in our individual careers. So, hopefully not too long before we get together again and we reminisce about, remember that little blip in the screen? We were off a little bit, and hopefully that's what this will turn out to be. So thanks again and stay positive, guys.
I don't know if this is saying goodbye twice, but I just want to thank everybody personally. Jeff, thank you. Katie, thank you. Mike, thank you. Ethan, Erin, thank you. We'll be doing this again in maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I don't know. Maria, Meryl, Lindsay Harbert, Jesse Schneiderman, they've all agreed to do the show in the future.
Cool.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.